Hello there. I am Teacher Tosca, and I thought I'd make a quick video just to review some of the companies that I've worked for, some that I'm still working at. So I've been an ESL tutor for about, where are we now? 2025, 3 to 4 years now. And as you all know, getting started isn't that easy. So it's easy enough to do your qualification. So I did a GA5 diploma, that is a 300-hour course through I2I. And it was, how can I say, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't impossible to do. So writing your own lesson plans, creating your own lessons, doing a complete syllabus, I learned a lot. So that included teaching young learners online. It included teaching adults as well as business English. So when you do get your certificate, ensure that it is a valid certificate and that companies accept that certificate. So when I started out, of course, I applied to many, many, many different countries. Oh, countries, companies, many different companies all over the world. And well, I probably heard back from 1 out of 100, if that. So my journey started thanks to a friend that was already in the industry, and I got a referral. I did the application, did the training, and I started with iTutor. Now that happened just as the Chinese lockdown came on online teaching, and I did quite well with them for a couple of months, but it went downhill very fast. I then had my profile moved over to Tutor ABC, as some of the people that used to work at iTutor opened a company called Tutor ABC, and they weren't teaching in China but Taiwan. So I started with them while I was still with iTutor, and it went really well. I didn't have to do the onboarding. That's changed now. So iTutor, as far as I know, is closed. I don't think they are still operating under the same name. And Tutor ABC, which is a lovely company to work for, you teach adults as well as juniors, so children from various levels. They have many different courses, a big variety of courses, ranging from absolute beginners, where you do your ABCs and colors and shapes. They even have Disney courses for the juniors. They have a great teen course that they just launched for junior high as well as some seniors. They have a big range of adult courses, including TOEIC and TOEFL, and a lot of business courses as well, which is lovely. So, really, a big variety, something for everyone, and a lot of training. So you do complete training quite often, and you have to complete a lot of training to qualify to teach some of these courses. I, for one, enjoy the training because you don't have to go in blind when teaching a new course or a new subject, if that. So that is quite nice about working at Tutor ABC. Their payment structure, so the classes are either 25 or 45 minutes. Some courses pay more than others. So it's depending on the course and the level that you teach. And that will also depend on where you live. So the country you live in also affects your base rate for your regular 25 and 45-minute classes. They have a Speak Now course, which is absolutely amazing for the adults. That's a 45-minute lesson, and it's really great conversations that you have. You learn vocabulary, intonation, stress, a little bit of grammar in there as well. I've just joined their demo team a couple of months ago, and it's really been a great experience. So, Tutor ABC, big thumbs up from me. So the base rate isn't that high for South Africa. But when you teach the courses that pay a little bit more, then it is well worth it. Which company? HLG. So the Higher Learning Group based in America. I worked for them for about 3 years up until December last year. My reason for leaving, probably because of transparency. It was really difficult to wake up in the morning not knowing whether or not you still have students on your schedule. To them, the client is king, and you don't always get the feedback to know whether you're doing something right or something wrong. And most of the time, everyone's doing everything wrong. They complain about the smallest things, like hearing a bird outside, hearing a car drive by, um, small things, the wind, the rain. So I did enjoy working for them. I had some lovely adult students there on one of their platforms, and some of them have been with me for my duration at HLG, and we built a great relationship. I still miss them. I still worry about them and wonder about them. So the adult platforms, they have quite a few of them. They have, I think, 2 or 3 junior platforms as well. You work on a set fixed schedule. So you give them hours, let's say 3, 4, 5 hours a day, and those hours are fixed. You cannot do anything during those hours, but you will sit in front of your computer, your laptop, your device that you use to teach those classes. Whether you have classes booked during those times or not, you can get last minute bookings on the adult platforms. You can get substitute classes as well. They pay per completed teaching hour. The kids' classes are 25 minutes per session. They only go from, I think, Korean time 5 to 8, 5 to 9, maybe 5 to 10. So you get paid for absent children, for absent junior students, but you don't get paid for absent adult students. The adult platform, you can also have back to back classes ranging from 10 minutes a session up until 30 minutes a session. And you might have no in between time to complete reports. So if you have an hours or 2 or 3 hours back to back classes, you won't be able to do reports within working time. It'll have to be after hours. And you have a deadline for when those reports need to be submitted, which is midnight Korean time. You also have month end reports that need to be done. You have a set structure to use with kids as well as adult classes for those reports. So it takes up a lot of extra time when you have a full schedule. There are days where your schedule, where you might have one 10-minute student rock up within that hour. You only get paid for 10 minutes. The students that are absent, you won't get paid for. Whether they answer that call or not, you will mark them absent if they cannot complete the lesson. So I think about 6 minutes. If you can keep them on the line for 6 minutes, then you might get paid and you can mark them present. So with adults, it's tough because they are working. Some of them are students, they have families, they have business trips. So, when they have a lot of business dinners, which is part of their culture. I loved working for HLG because of the students. The junior children platforms, they don't have great material that you teach. So they are set in stone. You cannot change the material, you cannot change the level. What you get is what you teach. You cannot really adapt much. You cannot add extra, and you have to extend on what you have. So if you have 6 words to teach, you will teach those 6 words for 10 minutes of the lesson and then move over to the rest. They have also, you have to be from America. So you have to tell your students that you are based in Chicago, which is where their head office is. And so you have to be quite up to date about the events that happen in the USA and the weather, the time, etc. They will talk about some landmarks and places they visited in the USA, and you need to be able to talk to them about, uh, including presidential campaigns, politics, economics, etc. So I do miss it. I miss the set schedule, and but no, I made the decision to move away from there, as teachers would wake up to an empty schedule, and when they would send an email to inquire about it, your services are no longer needed. There are no students for you to teach. And that is quite sad. If you've worked for the company for a long time, waking up not knowing if you have a schedule to teach or not, sometimes the schedule loads a little bit later and you are so nervous. And the stress is just not worth it. But if you're up for it, go for it. So, like I said, I did it for 3 years and I did enjoy it. I did. I did. You become a little bit robotic when it comes to the children's classes because it's the same material over and over again. And there might be times where your student changes the session time or they cancel their contract. You can get new students, substitute students. So it's not always the same students. And yeah, so that's it for HLG. I'll probably think of a few more things, but I can't think of anything right now. So currently, I am working at Tutor ABC and Tweenix. So I started with Twinix or Tweenix, not sure how you pronounce it. And to keep in mind with this is they have very slow periods and very busy periods. Your slow period, which is now in January, is something I didn't know about when I started with them. I might have stuck it out with HLG for another month. Um, I've probably, up until now, which is the 13th of Jan, I had maybe 5 classes, which is quite sad. I opened about 93 um, teaching slots. So that's you open 30-minute slots and the classes are 26 minutes. They have a variety of courses, which is great. You teach people, adults, professionals from Spain, Italy, and now France as well. So some of the courses that I've done included, well, let's say conversational courses. So like gaming, some choose movies, sometimes real life, like visiting a restaurant, giving reviews on restaurants and foods, etc. So mostly conversational. They also have more professional courses, which could include anything from technology to environmental courses, marketing, management. Those are very, very interesting for me as I come from a management background. And then they have grammar courses as well. The they these how can I put it? They are fun to teach. Um, they're not completely, stuck on grammar rules, so you have to teach the rule as it is. More conversational, but to correct let's say it's a past tense, so you correct the incorrect use of tenses. No reports after class. You do your evaluation during class, and you send the evaluation after class. So I'm talking quite a lot, but as it comes to mind, I'm not reading off a script here. I'm just talking. And so far, December was a lovely month with them. So when I started on the 23rd of December, it went really well. I did quite a few courses in the last little bit of December, which was lovely. And the students are great, the ones I had. They're a lot um, more relaxing vibe than the Asian countries, so Koreans, China, Taiwanese. Um, so our lessons on Twinix mostly conversational, and you do, like I said, in-class corrections. So there's a chat box, so you correct as you go in class. Took some time to get used to, but it is much better than having to write lengthy reports between lessons or after working hours. And what else was there? Well, that's all I can think about right now. If you can think of any questions you would like to ask me about these companies. So they were iTutor, Tutor ABC, HLG, and 20. Thank you so much for listening. You know, speaking, I love talking. So I hope to hear from you and good luck on your teaching journey.